Hey everybody, this is Steve Moore, owner of Run More, this brick and mortar running shop behind me, located in Westminster, Maryland. Today we're going to be talking about the new Hoka Rincon 2. If you've been following our channel, if you subscribe, which we really appreciate, you've probably seen my face a lot more lately. A lot of things that had been pushed out that were supposed to be coming out in the early summer have all been coming out now. Basically, it feels like end of July, August, going into late August and September, we have a ton of new shoes that are rolling out, so we'll have a lot more reviews and stuff. So if you are looking for new stuff and new products, this is a great channel to check out, so we really appreciate it. So anyway, the new Hoka Rincon 2. The Rincon 1 was really popular for us at the shop. I think because it was something different from Hoka. They really didn't have anything in that category to compare it to at the time. They had some lightweight training stuff like a Mach or a Kavu, but it really wasn't, to me, what a Hoka was all about. And I mentioned in those videos that Hoka didn't have a shoe that was a Hoka. Like that. So it was really cool to have something that was an everyday lightweight trainer, maybe for workouts and such, that was different from a Clifton, but maybe not a racing shoe like a Carbon X. It was just that fun, zippy, fun shoe that you can go out and do some really exciting miles in and not have to have a big bulky shoe and not have to change the entire shoe that you were looking for by going to something like a Mach or a Kavu. So this was a really popular shoe for us, and we had been pulling it for kids that were maybe doing high school and people that were doing workouts and tempo stuff, and it was really smart, in my opinion, from Hoka that they added a shoe in that category. What you can see, especially when we would have parents would come in with their kids getting cross-country shoes last summer, and maybe the parents had been running in a Hoka, they'd been in a Clifton or a Bondi or a Rocky or whatever it may be, and they maybe wanted to get their kids in a Hoka because they had felt some good advantages in running in it, but maybe they didn't think the kid would wear something that the same shoe that they were wearing. So we would see parents that were like, hey, you should try that shoe because I like that brand and maybe you'll like it too. So it was like they were trying to get kids into the brand younger, and we had kids that were really excited about it. And I think that's also why a lot of their colors and such are really fun and funky. Like it's targeted for sort of a demo of younger runner, or maybe again, because it looks kind of fun, funky, and fast, maybe that shoe that you're going to put on for those fun, funky, fast days. You're going to get out there and tear up some miles. You're going to put on your fun, funky shoe. So I'm showing you, these last two have been men's options in the Rincon 2. So I'm trying to go nice and slow so people can see all the fun, funkiness about it. So just right off the bat, as far as like where this falls in the category, I mentioned it quickly, but so if we're looking for that Hoka-esque shoe that has the nice roll to it in a lightweight category, we've got the Rincon. And then if you're sort of moving up on the food chain, what people are sort of most accustomed to when they're talking about Hoka is the Clifton. The Clifton is this was the one that sort of got them on the map. This is the one that people were really excited about, especially this relaunch. The 7 is really nice if you haven't had a chance to try it out. So this is the Hoka Clifton 7, and this is sort of their everyday training shoe that people really come in looking for and got them on the map. And so this is like the little sibling to that. So if maybe you were running in a Clifton and you were saying, hey, I love this shoe and I use this shoe for my everyday training and I wanted something a little bit faster and I wanted something maybe for those workouts, we'll probably pull you in the Rincon. And a lot of times how I describe it is, if you see a baseball player warming up in the, over there on the little bullpen area there, I'm not a huge baseball guy, but if you see somebody over there swinging the baseball bat and they have the weighted donut on it, then they take the donut off and they go into the batter's box. And a lot of times that's how I think about with my running, is I might have a shoe that's heavier for my everyday training, and then maybe I'll bump down to something that's shed a little bit of weight to it to go faster on those days I want to go faster. So this could be that perfect companion piece just for that. If you're wearing something that's heavier, especially if you're wearing something heavier from the Hoka family, if you are wearing a Clifton and you say, I love that shoe for my heavy mileage stuff, but I want to feel faster for a race day or something, this is a great shoe to pivot to because you're already kind of accustomed to that feeling, but we've shed some weight. So just to put it in comparison, this shoe comes in on the men's at 7.7 ounces and on the women at 6.3 ounces. It's a full ounce lighter than what we're feeling in the Clifton, and even more so on the female side. So again, you can wear this shoe and feel nice and supportive, and then maybe put this on and just feel a little bit more zip to it. Sorry, I'm just going to pivot one more time, and now here is another female color. This is a female color, sorry. Kind of bouncing around here so you guys have a bunch of the different fun, exciting stuff on this shoe. So, couple things that I wanted to talk about that was different from the Rincon 1 to the Rincon 2. If you had tried on the Rincon 1, this sizing seemed off. The sizing was a good bit off, actually, and it's one of those times that it was off where you had to size down. Most times when manufacturers maybe have an issue with sizing, you end up going up a half size or whatever it may be, and it could be because of width. It could just be that it's a little bit shrunken in, whatever it may be, but this is one of those rare occasions where we were suggesting that people go down a half a size. And also the material on the upper, this is a Rincon 1. the material that they used on the upper, I have so many shoes up here, it really kind of sometimes felt a little bit sloppy. It was almost like it just was a little too loose up there, and especially if somebody came in and had more of a narrower foot, with the sizing felt goofy, and if you tied it real tight down here to kind of make sure it fit them, it was real loose up here, and it would, sometimes it would crease there, and it didn't have the best fit and feel to it. So putting them on in the Rincon 2, it definitely fits and feels better. And actually, quite honestly, that was one of the nice changes from the Clifton 6 to the Clifton 7, is they really made some big positive changes on the upper, and the Rincon 2 is right in that same camp, where they made some nice additions to how it fits and feels. It just feels a little more padded up here. The tongue seems like it's not moving around so much on you, and I did feel that way in the Rincon 1, where I did feel a little bit of shuffling through the tongue, where I don't feel that way on the Rincon 2. And overall, while it feels like it's more secured, it doesn't feel like it's any tighter. It doesn't feel like it's now more narrow. It feels like it still has that nice wide platform, so it does accommodate somebody like myself who has a wider foot. The Rincon 2 does not come in any widths, so it does feel like it's, I say sometimes that shoes are pluses. So on the female, if you're talking about a standard width being a B and then you're going wide to a D, this is like a B plus. It's just a little bit wider than you might find in a standard traditional B width, or for the men's a D, but it's not a wide. It's just a little bit more accommodating. And even across the board, you can just kind of see how wide this base is. This shoe is a neutral shoe, so it doesn't have any additional arch support into it. So typically if somebody is more flat-footed or has some overpronation issues, they're rolling in this way. So there might be some extra support on the arch. This doesn't have any of that. But what they have done to add some inherent stability to it is it's got this nice big base to it. So it is going to kind of balance you out if you are somebody who's sort of rotating one way or the other. It's going to try to help keep you nice and neutral in the middle. It also has this little dimple on the heel. I don't know if I can do a good job showing that. And that's different between that and the Clifton. And when you're stepping in it and when you're kind of rocking back on your foot, you can almost feel the shoe sort of separating out, so that if you are somebody when you land and maybe you kind of go one way or the other, it will sort of give you some extra stability by spreading out its base. And again, if you're looking at like the base of a Clifton, that's not there. Base of a Rincon, that's there. And you can really, you can honestly feel it when you rock back. It's such a nice soft shoe. You can see it almost and feel it almost just sort of melting beneath you. So while this is a neutral shoe, and while there is no stability companion shoe like we see in most of the other lines of the Hoka family, this shoe does have a little bit of inherent stability to it. If you're somebody who's severely overpronates, who's really flat-footed, who really needs some help because they have really bad ankles and such, this might not be the best option for you, even with that little stability, unless you added in like an orthotic or a Superfeet or something else to give you a little extra support. But so we had a lot of people that were looking for this, for that light, fast, everyday shoe. We had people that would come in looking for this shoe that just because it looked fun and funky, and I'm going to pick up another fun and funky female color here, because it was fun and funky, they were looking for that shoe that they can throw on and go out and do some walk-in, do some everyday stuff in, take it and do some cardio at the gym. It does have a pretty aggressive stack height to it, so again, as I say with a lot of the Hoka stuff, it's not my favorite shoe if you're doing side-to-side mobility stuff for gym. If you really wanted something in the Hoka family, if you were somebody that is running in a Clifton or something and you wanted that gym shoe that wasn't just for cardio but doing more side-to-side stuff, the Kabu is great for that. And that is sort of their equivalent to a lightweight gym all-around shoe, where this really is your lightweight run-specific shoe. So great shoe for running, for walking, for fun stuff. It's a great option. The price point on this guy is $115. There is a couple things that I did want to say that we don't love about this shoe, and just keep in mind, the durability on the shoe is not fantastic, and we saw a lot of people that were coming back in for this shoe to replace it kind of quickly, and there was a little bit of frustration of like, I just got this shoe and I burned through it too quick, and 250 miles max is what we were getting out of this. A lot of the Hoka shoes in general don't have quite as long a durability as some of the other brands that we carry out there, and you have to sacrifice something when you have a shoe this light, this airy, and having this much exposed foam on the bottom, you are going to give away a little bit of durability. It's kind of hard to have something that's really light, really airy, and you're going to get 500, 600, 700 miles in. Those are rare shoes. But what I tell people is, if you think about what this shoe is, you kind of want to use those miles sparingly. If you're somebody who's running 25, 30, 40 miles a week, you're getting ready for a half marathon, I don't know if this would be the shoe for you in general, because you're going to break down on it, and that's not really what its intended use is. You're much better keeping this back in the in your stash of running shoes and training in something like a Clifton or whatever your everyday trainer is, and just pulling it out for those special days. So, and if you're using it for a shoe that you're going to be doing maybe a little bit of light gravel running, some trail stuff, it's not designed for that. People that would go out there, and especially where we are in Carroll County, there's some roads out here that I run on, a lot of people run on, that are gravel. It really eats up the bottom of the shoe fast. So use this where you know it's appropriate. Use it for the applications that it's designed for, and that is for fast miles, for everyday putzing around if you just like a cool looking walking shoe. But to me, it's priced that way because you really shouldn't expect to get as much out of it as you would a shoe in the higher category. So if you're thinking that, I'm running 40 miles a week and I just found me a bargain on this shoe, it's fine, you can use that, but just don't expect to get the same type of life expectancy out of this as you would out of another shoe in that category. So thank you so much for watching, and I guess this is also a good time to tell you that our friends at Polar are giving us a Polar Grit X. So if you subscribe to our channel, and we have a review up for the Polar Grit X on our station over there, so give it a watch. And on September 1st, if you subscribe to our channel, we're going to pull a random winner, and you will get a free Polar Grit X from our friends at Polar. So like and subscribe, all that good jazz. It really does help us. And if you're interested in purchasing this shoe or anything else on our website, head on over to our shop. We have a link down below, and it's promo code RUNMORE, one word, 2 O's, RUNMORE. Saves you 10%. We'll ship it out for free. And if you have any questions on this shoe or any other shoe, feel free to leave it down below in the comments, and I'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all the support, and stay safe out there.